Hi, it's me, Nico. Uh, or Slum, whichever one you want to call me. I don't care. I'm sorry, hold on. Get a little noise reduction going on in here. Um, Little update. The surgery went well. My back is feeling a lot better. I will still have to go in for quite a few more procedures, so I don't know how long these procedures are going to last because they're all temporary procedures, and then I have to go back in for a follow-up to redo whatever it is that's being undone in my body because my spine is fucked up. Um, if you've read my book, then you'll know that I've been in over 17 car accidents, and in some of them, I have truly injured my spine. And I was a reckless teenager with a skateboard, and I liked going down big hills, and I've fallen into a lot of cars parked and moving, and I've just injured my body a lot. And so when it comes to healing, or when it comes to my spine specifically, um, I have pain because that's what happens when you age. When you have broken things, broken parts of your body, and when you age, years later, your body's like, hey, remember me? You broke me? Hi, how are you doing? I'm going to cause you pain now. And my body has been doing that. And so these little surgeries are going to be a constant throughout my life. Um, so they're all minor surgeries. Those are. I am going in for some major surgeries. Not this year, but in the beginning of next year. Uh, some of that is reparative, restorative. Um, they're going to fix my breasts because of the 9 years that they were going in and digging out tumors from me. Um, that's also not major surgery, but it is much more involved than the surgeries that I'm having now on my spine. So all that being said, health-wise, I'm doing good. Gypsy, thank you for keeping track of me. If I haven't messaged you on Facebook, I apologize. I just haven't. Why is my chair sinking? Oh my God. Thank you. All right. No, you're not staying up. Why? Oh, okay. All right. Gypsy. Sorry, sis. Listen, I haven't gotten around to being on Facebook for more than about 2 to 5 minutes a day for the last month because, honestly, I'm just kind of avoiding the drama. And I know that some people are going through it right now and could probably use my help, but I can barely help me right now. And I'm getting around to helping me. And I'm getting around to fixing all the stuff that I need fixed in my life. But I can't continue doing that if I'm not fixed and if I'm not well. So if I'm not well, I will be of no use to them. I need to make me well first before I can go after them and be like, oh, hey, listen, I'm going to help you out here and take over your life for a while and make sure everything's going to be okay. Because as intrusive as I can be and as helpful as I can be, right now in my life is not the time. Um, so family stuff is done. Great, wonderful. Perks of living right on the boulevard, huh? So, okay. Recently, I seem to have struck a chord with some people, and they really, really want to hate on me. Which is funny, because in this family we have this tradition of trolling trolls, you see. And I don't mind fucking with people, man. People want to sit here and try to be snarky with me, I will be snarky right the fuck back. And let me tell you something. There are a few people who have tried to snark me. They tried to outsnark me, and I'm a rather educated woman. Self-taught, and I've been to college, and so I've read up on things and I research things because I'm a nerd that way. And so when someone wants to speak to me on a topic that I have brought up, I brought up said topic because I have done research on said topic. So when they want to speak to me on said topic and they try to condescend to me, I have absolutely no problem ripping them a brand new asshole right in the middle of their spine. Verbally, of course. Verbally, not physically. Because I am a peaceful person for the most part. But don't cross me, dude. I really don't care what you have to say. Like, if you're trying to say something in defense of the person that I came out against in a way, I'll be honest with you, I don't care what your opinion is of Jordan Peterson. What he said was wrong. And the way he said it was wrong. His message is dangerous, and it could lead to a lot of hardship for women out there. Especially women who cannot have children, or women who love their career so much and now sitting there doubting themselves, thinking, oh God, I've never wanted children in my life. I hate children. But now, is my life entirely incomplete because I don't have children? Oh my God, is Jordan Peterson right? No. I tell you right now, no, the fuck he is not. He's romanticizing a lifestyle that was promoted in the 1950s on TV and sitcoms. It's not a reality. That shit never happened in real life. Those husbands in the 1950s, they worked their asses off every single day at factory jobs, at all sorts of jobs, or whatever the case may be. And for the most part, when they came home, having to deal with the children and the wife and the house was just not a thing that they wanted on their agenda. And so they came home, they smoked their cigars, and they drank their fucking scotch or whiskey, and they got pissed off at the kids when they came into the room or whatever, and they had to deal with their own fucking kids, heaven forbid, right? And then they'd beat the shit out of their wives because their wife wasn't handling the kids to begin with, or putting the kids to bed before they even got home from the bar or wherever. They'd have their affairs, and mommy had to take black beauties in the morning so she could speed the fuck up and be all on top of the kids and take care of the house and everything that she was supposed to take care of as per her role as a woman. And then she'd have to take Valium at the end of the night so she can just fucking deal with it and let her body relax afterwards. Also, to deal with the fact that her body is bruised and beaten because hubby wasn't satisfied with whatever it is that she did during the day. Look, I am all for traditional families. I am. And I don't believe that in traditional families those tropes truly do exist. I really don't. I don't believe that those tropes exist in real families. Because real families mean that both parents are getting their hands dirty with the children. Both parents are getting their hands dirty in the kitchen. Both parents are getting their hands dirty with the laundry and any other chores that have to do in the house, because in the reality that we live in now, both parents are working because it's the only way to live in this country. You see that? Inflation is so fucked up right now that everyone is so stuck in this place where you need 2, 3, sometimes 4 incomes to be able to afford living an almost normal life in any given city. Now, I live in New York. You need 5 to 6 incomes in a household to be able to live here. Okay? I realize this. I realize how the money and the finances impact the family because I live in a city in which it would financially impact every household. It's huge. It's a huge impact on everyone. I understand that because here it's amplified. Okay? I'm not saying that daddy shouldn't work, but allow me to use an example from my own life. After my 3rd child, I began working again. Strictly office jobs because, well, it's what I'm suited for. I went from customer service rep to team leader to floor manager to director of human resources. And this is within a span of about 4 months. And I kept the job for almost a year. My raises and the hours that I put in, the extra long hours that I put in, these were things that my husband at the time begrudged me. He hated it because on a week that I would put in overtime, I made 3 times as much as him. On a week that I just worked regular hours, maybe 2, 5 hours of overtime, I would make twice as much as him. And it was just that it was, it's not that I went out of my way to humiliate the man. I had a job. I did my job. Oh God. Okay. Well, I did my job. I came home and I had the money to pay for things. He insisted on paying the rent. He would not allow me to pay the rent. He was my husband. It was his job to bring home the bacon and pay the rent. So I paid our oh my God. Sorry about that. This is New York. Okay. Where was I? Right. He was supposed to pay the rent, and I was supposed to pay the electricity, which he didn't really want me to pay. He wanted to have to pay it himself because he's the man of the household, which was ridiculous. But I didn't fight it. Now, for money to the side, so I put it towards the children. I would take them shopping for clothes. I would make them extravagant meals for when I came home from work, or I would take them takeout. I'd take them out to a restaurant, have my little date with my 3 little babies. Note, the husband was not on said dates because he didn't like me splurging and spending money that we didn't have, which he meant he didn't make. Now, 3 months went by before I realized that he did not pay the rent at all. He's spending his entire paycheck at the bar down the block, tipping the go-go dancers. He refused to pay the rent because he figured that I would learn my place and be the woman at the home, staying at home, taking care of my children, and let him take care of the bills, because look what happens when I took care of the bills. My problem with this was that he never told me he wasn't paying the rent. Had he told me, I would have been able to pay the rent. But he never told me. And as much money as I was making, I couldn't cover 3 months worth of rent, of back rent, and another month of rent in a week's time. It just wasn't feasible. So I brought in a full-time nanny, because now I knew I was going to have to work a lot of full-time hours or overtime hours to be able to pay back our debt. He threw the only shit fit. We had the biggest fight we had ever had, and I had to throw him out of my home because he threatened me with violence. He threatened me with a lot of things. But when he threatened me with violence, and then I egged him on, I did. I forced him to put hands on me, but he didn't hit me. He didn't. He grabbed me by the shoulders and kind of shoved me back because I was in his face. I really was. I wanted him to hit me because I wanted to really justify hating him and throwing him out of my house. I had to settle for just throwing him out of my house. And then I had to find a new place for me and my children to live. I could afford it, getting a new place, because it was half as expensive as paying for the place we were in. We lost all my children's childhood memories, their clothes and everything, because my then landlord had taken everything out of the apartment and set it on fire. Wonderful, right? All those photographs, my wedding photos, my wedding gown, everything that had anything to do with that marriage was incinerated. So you tell me, should I have quit my job, stood home, taken care of the children, and allowed my neophyte husband to take care of us so that we could live just at the level of existing? Or was it more responsible for me to keep my job and be able to handle taking care of my children and afford things for my children? See, Jordan Peterson is not right. Not every family can work in the manner in which he feels they should be able to work, because men should be able to make more money than women and take care of them. Because, you see, there are women like me in the world. I'm not the only one. I cannot be the only one. I cannot be the only exception to this quote-unquote rule, which shouldn't be a rule because it's not a thing. You see, There are strong women out there. There are strong women who can go out there and make a living and have a family and keep a family and raise a family, because that's what I did. I cooked and cleaned for them. They were all walking and potty trained by the age of 9 months to a year. They were all speaking in full sentences within that first year. And in that second year, they even learned how to read and write. All of my children. That was me. I did that. They were all polite. They are all productive members in society right now because they are all grown. And my baby girl is turning 21 next week. They all have jobs. They are all doing their thing. I did that. Not alone, clearly, because their father was still in the picture, but my point is that when Jordan Peterson speaks in absolutes, he is discounting and discrediting people like me who live outside of the terms that he is setting, saying that all people should live in this box. Because I live way the fuck over here. And he's over here in this tiny little box trying to set everyone in here while I'm way the fuck over here. So I take offense to that. The fact that he takes offense to the term toxic masculinity really makes me giggle, because honestly, there are men who are toxic, and the types of men who are toxic, they're the Neanderthal types, put it that way. I didn't see him as one of them until I saw him go off on a woman because she mentioned toxic masculinity. And then the way he explained it was that masculinity isn't toxic. He sees it as all masculinity coming under fire. And that's not the case. If he wants to speak as an authoritarian, if he wants to speak as someone, oh my God, as someone who is an authority on said topic, then he should probably actually learn the topic fully or not speak in absolutes. That has been my beef with him all along. Now, the trolls who want to come on here, sit here and talk shit about it, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, you haven't listened to him, you don't know what, shh. Listen. I learn, I read, I study, I research. I know, wherefore I speak. And I speak deliberately. I do not speak in absolutes. I try to be conscious of all when I do speak, so that I do not steamroll over people who do not belong in the conversation I'm having. Jordan Peterson steamrolling over people like me is an idiot move. Did I say the man is an idiot? Yes, 2-3 videos ago. I was heated when I said it. That is not what I meant. What I meant was the way that he speaks is a fool move, an idiot move, because he is setting a tone for the cultists that follow him so that they now think that this is exactly what it is. The world is that black and white, and I should be happy to let some Neanderthal man come into my home, take over it, pay the bills for me, so that I can be happy to just sit there and worship at the temple built in his crotch. That will not satisfy me in life. I am happy to have my autonomy. I am happy to have my freedom. And if some man is lucky enough to meet my criteria and wants to hitch his ride along with mine, follow me on that road, become a partner to me, sure. But if he wants to come here and become my overlord, he will learn very, very swiftly how the French Revolution happened. And he will become much reviled, like King Louis did when he got beheaded. So, there you go. This is not an attitude thing. This is not me being obstinate and hating on Jordan Peterson. This is me stating facts. Jordan Peterson speaks in absolutes. He should stick to motivating people to make themselves better people. But he should stay away from telling women how they should live their lives and what they should do with it. or how they should feel about whether or not they have children, because that is something that he clearly does not know anything about, and he should leave things about women to the women, because we know our bodies. That is my point with Jordan. So if anyone else wants to take issue with me, feel free to go ahead into my comments section and state your piece. But do know that I monitor my comments section, and I have absolutely no problem fucking with you for hours, days, weeks, and months on end. I raised 4 children. I can out annoy anybody, and I have no problem doing so. And once I start calling you peaches, you got to realize I am no longer taking you seriously. So feel free. Have fun, and to the rest of y'all, talk soon.